Toronto FC head coach Bob Bradley joining me now. Bob, we'll call a spade a spade. I mean, this is strange. We're playing a Canadian championship to crown a champion for 2020, obviously because of COVID and pushing everything back. But, it's still a huge game for the Voyageurs, the supporters. They want to hand out that cup for that missed year. How do you approach, though, a Canadian championship that was meant to be played 2 years ago?
It is strange, but 2020 was a strange year. And the way we've approached it is very simple, that TFC has always taken the Canadian championship very seriously, has had success. That success gets you opportunities in Champions League. This time round, not the case, but winning trophies and adding to the history of TFC is important. And there's so many people here, not just players, but staff, people behind the scenes that were here in 2020, saw the team reach the final. And when it wasn't played, I think they all still wait for the day when you get a chance to hold up another trophy.
Great introduction to the CPL for your side, and you in particular, obviously going to Halifax and the fans there and completely stacking that place. And it was a boisterous crowd. They got a goal. So, their fans were into it. You walked away ultimately with the 2-1 victory. But what did you learn from the CPL, even just from that one game?
Well, I watched a lot of the CPL last year and was really impressed. We have, of course, Paul Stalteri, who was on the staff at York last year. We've got guys like Lucas McNaughton and Caden Chung that played key roles at Pacific. So I have a lot of respect for what's going on in the CPL. When we went to Halifax, we knew that it was a very, very big game for the club, for the city, for the supporters, and that it was going to be a really tough match. And all that was true. Forge has had a good team. Bobby Smirniotis does an excellent job. So we know what we're up against, but we're excited to go to Hamilton. I rely a lot on Paul for his expertise and his experience with some of these teams. I know a good number of the players, but we've prepared for Forge in the same way that we do for all games, to really have an idea of how they'll play, who will be on the field, and what we need to do well.
What are you expecting from Forge? I mean, you said it. This is a side that obviously has 2 CPL titles. It's a side that played in CONCACAF League and then earned their promotion into CONCACAF Champions League, taking on clubs playing in hostile environments. But we also know that this is a team currently dealing with a lot of injuries, in particular to their back line. But what are you specifically expecting from this Forge side?
A really good match. Bobby prepares his teams well. And I really enjoy the fact that his teams try to play football. They have an idea of how they want to connect plays in the midfield. So it's a test. They have good movement as they play through the midfield of their wide attackers. In fact, some of the things that they do are similar to things that I've always tried to do with teams that I've coached. So we expect a team that's well prepared and a team that is going to try to be at their best football-wise.
When it comes to the Canadian Championship, also, special requirements when it comes to the roster and playing Canadian players. What can we expect, though, from Toronto FC? I mean, you're going with a full lineup, or are you going to try extending the bench and do some experimenting?
No, we are going with our best team. We've got enough Canadians right now that it's no problem to hit the number of Canadians you need on the field at the start. I think we've over hit that mark pretty much every game we've played this year. So, we are at a point in the season where we are still trying to improve from game to game, and the opportunity to play for a championship at this moment, as strange as it is still very important to the players and to the club and most of all to the supporters.
We also know around the corner for Toronto FC, in case no one has heard, there's a pretty big player by the name of Lorenzo Insigne who's going to be joining the club. And you've had experience dealing with big players, as well. How do you make sure that his transition into the team, which has already gotten going, playing some games here, You're playing in Canadian Championship simultaneously, as we just mentioned, 2020, but you're still in the 2022 fight. How does he fit in seamlessly? How do you make that your top priority for him?
I think the way that we've gone about trying to play all year takes into account what Lorenzo's about. The kind of football we try to play, we still do a pretty good job of playing through the midfield, finding players between the lines. And obviously, when you can find Lorenzo between the lines, especially in the half space on the left, his ability to play certain passes, his ability to move forward and get himself in positions to score are all really, really good. And so the things that we do as a team, uh, I think fit very well with what he needs around him when he arrives.
Well, one player we know who also has experience playing in big games and with big players and is a big name himself, that of course is Michael Bradley. And he's loved here in this city, winning a championship, taking this team to the final multiple times. How much do you think he has to give? I mean, I know the fans would love to see him play a lot longer, but what do you feel is going through his head?
He enjoys every day. He's motivated to play an important role in the group we have. He takes time with the young players every day, and I know he also wants to try to make sure that the other experienced guys are all on the same page as far as what leadership's all about. He'll also be one of the players that will be really important when Lorenzo arrives, among other things. Michael's Italian's really good. So, the ability uh, to welcome Lorenzo in all the right ways inside the team. He's going to get an incredible welcome from the city and the supporters. But I think that when he arrives inside the team, Lorenzo has got a lot of personality. Everybody's excited to get to know him, see how he trains every day, and see what he can bring to our team.
Yeah, I can say, as someone who's part of the Italian community, it was quite appreciated when Michael first came on over, having played in Italy. But it was this. He had definitely mastered this when talking to the officials, that's for sure. Before we let you go, you're obviously, again, somebody who's had a ton of experience when it comes to World Cup qualifying and coaching at a World Cup. And Canada, as you know, has qualified for its World Cup for the first time since 1986. You have some players on your team as well. Jonathan Osorio was a huge part of Canada qualifying. But any advice that you would have for young Canadians who are venturing into this part of their career that they've never experienced before?
The national team is special, and I think that John Herdman has done a really good job of making players feel that with everything you do in your career, the national team, playing in a World Cup, representing your country, those things just take on a whole different element. And I really encourage young players that when you get inside that national team, take it all in, be so proud, and make sure that you're given everything you have, because the feeling of being part of a national team playing in the World Cup, where your entire country is watching, that is really special. And I'm so excited for Oso, and I know some of the other players that have played key roles in the qualifying for Canada, and I'm excited to see how they use the time between now and the start of the World Cup, and I'll be excited when they get going.
Great advice, Bob. Really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you very much.
Ashtone Morgan of Forge FC joining me now. And Ashton, you are a 5-time Canadian Championship winner. All of those were with Toronto FC. And I know that's a lot of titles right there, but I'm wondering if you have a fondest memory out of all the Voyageur Cups you've won.
Oh man. There's been a lot. To be fair, like I think all of them, just being able to win one, let alone five, has been an incredible achievement for myself and for TFC at the time. And now they're all special for sure.
Now, I mean, the Voyageurs Cup, has only been won by an MLS side, right? So, like I said, you've won 5. Toronto FC in total has won 7, and then you have Vancouver and Montreal. What do you think it would mean for a CPL team to win the crown?
It'd be massive. Just even to show the growth of the CPL and going on for the last 4 years now. I think it'll be awesome achievement, and it'll kind of be like a wake up call for, especially for the MLS squads, that you really have to take this tournament even more serious because of all the more competition that is coming to the tournament.
Yeah, CPL teams definitely get up for the challenge. We've seen it in years past, and we're even seeing it this year too. So it would be quite something to see a Canadian Premier League win it. And I'm wondering what the CPL has also meant for you and your career.
For me, it's been special so far. I've been enjoying my time with the Forge. Every day, I'm motivated for myself and for my teammates around me. We do have a younger group here, which I also do enjoy because it really energizes me, and definitely gives me a different outlook to how my day to day goes, where I could actually help out a younger guy more often. And I feel with all the experiences I've been through, I have a lot of stories and a lot of things I could preach and teach and just help out however I can. So it's been awesome so far.
Wonder what your message would be. Not that I'm trying to put you on the spot to come up with, this motivating message, but the thing is, again, being with Toronto FC, even though you've played teams in the Canadian Championship who are not in MLS, like, FC Edmonton and Ottawa Fury, there was no doubt really that TFC was going to come away with the win. You've always been the top dog. You've always been the favored team. And as strong as CPL teams are, as strong as Forge is, given the history and being two-time CPL champs and playing in CONCACAF League and earning that right to play in Champions League, CPL teams are still viewed as the underdog. So now you're in a dressing room, right? You go from TFC, where you're always the top dog, going on into now being the underdog. How does that feel for you personally? And then just what becomes your message to your teammates?
Yeah, definitely. I've always had that underdog mentality for myself personally. That also keeps me motivated to play like it's my last game. I feel with that, it's just depends how you use it. I use it to energize me, and I'll definitely preach that to my teammates to let it energize us for the game, and to express ourselves and just enjoy our football, because we play a good style of football here at a Forge. And on our day, when everything's clicking, we could be a force to be reckoned with for sure.
Oh, I mean, there's the history there. I mean, pretty rich with Forge. We know Toronto FC has been having their issues as well at the MLS level. A little bit uncharacteristic on Forge's side. Back-to-back games with 3 goals. We know that back line, you guys are being tested big time with injuries and certain guys playing out of position. What adjustments do you think need to be made to take on this TFC side and get the victory?
Honestly, I think we just need to focus on ourselves, and again, with TFC, they have their big players, they have their guys, their main targets, and their main guys. But for us, we're playing at home in front of our fans, and I feel when we take care of our business and worry about our game, the final product will be there.
And I guess finally, we know Bobby Smirniotis to be a man of mystery. Doesn't like to divulge too much. What's it been like having him as a coach? What are the day-to-day interactions with Bobby the Beard?
Yeah, Bobby the Beard. No, it's been great. Again, he preaches football. He loves, he eats, breathes, and lives football. And with how he coaches, you could feel that. You could feel the passion and how much hard work he puts into the day-to-day work we do here in Hamilton. So, it definitely is great to see, and it is motivating to see how hard our coach here, Bobby, how hard he works. So we try to replicate that and put out and exert the same energy he does for us.
Excellent, Ashton. Appreciate you taking the time. Best of luck on Saturday.
Appreciate that. Thank you.